Alternative investments. See, in this video I will give you the brief introduction about alternative investments. Now when it comes to investments, we can divide into two categories: traditional investments and alternative investments. Traditional investments include equity and fixed income, whereas alternative investments include hedge funds, real estate, commodities, infrastructure, private equity and other categories. Here is the definition of alternative investments in front of you. Alternative investments collectively refers to the many asset classes that fall outside the definition of stocks and bonds. So these all are the asset classes that falls outside the definition of stocks and bonds. Now let's discuss why there is a need of alternative investments. Even in India also, we have seen there is a rising demand for alternative investments products. Let's discuss the reasons for the same. See, only a few years ago, the only way to create financial assets in India was to put your money into conventional investments or traditional investment categories such as stocks and bonds. But with the increasing tribe of HNIs in the country, there is a steady rise in the demand for non-conventional or non-traditional investment avenues. Now let me share one important figure with you all. See, in India, the capital pumped into alternative investment funds rose to nearly rupees 1.1 trillion in the January to March quarter of the year 2019, which is nearly 79% higher than it was in the same period a year ago. Second reason why alternative investments are becoming popular is because these non-traditional investments allow investors with access to assets not correlated to traditional investments. Now generally it is seen that there is a very low correlation among traditional investments and alternative investments. See, as a portfolio manager, if you add alternative investments along with traditional investments, what will happen? Overall risk of portfolio will go down because there is a low correlation among these two asset classes, that is among traditional investments and alternative investments. So this is the huge plus from portfolio point of view. This offers diversification benefit. Low correlation between traditional investments and alternative investments offers diversification benefit and potentially higher returns compared to traditional investments. Now let's talk about disadvantages of alternative investments. The very first disadvantage of alternative investment is alternative investments includes complex assets and they often carry higher risk compared to traditional investments. Second disadvantage is fund managers who basically manage alternative investments. Those managers will charge higher fees to manage complex investments. That's it in this video. This was the brief introduction about alternative investment. In next video, we will start understanding the first category in alternative investment, which is hedge funds.